Art students, Brian Proctor back again with another video. This one's going to be short and sweet. This is action pose position 45, drawing the female body. See, that was short, no rambling. All right, let's go and do this one, yeah. All right, guys, in keeping with our female theme, I'm going to start doing some action poses in the female, from the female, for the female. We're not going to start out too crazy, just some nice standing positions and then get later on into some twisted positions. I'm going to try to keep this one short because yeah. Well, one, I went to the dentist yesterday and had a tooth pulled, and yeah, so I don't want to talk too much. All right, so one thing about the torso is, going back before we even start drawing, is I showed you how to do the diamonds. This is the female torso. Diamond, there you go with these diamonds. Get these shapes right. Somebody buy me a diamond and a triangle. So that's your body right there. You have your head, your arms, and your legs. That's basically your body right there. Now, I did another video where this is more like the letter K. Well, let's go this way. When the body twists, it's going to be more like the letter K. And the reason for that is if you take your triangle, one triangle, and you take the other triangle, and then you twist the body. When the body walks, your shoulders and your hips twist too. So let's just say we take one triangle here, go here, keep the triangle centered, Brian. Maybe that's a hard twist, but okay, we'll go with that. And then we take another triangle here, like that, and you have more of a straight line on this side and more of that little K right there. And that's why when you twist the body, this one goes flat. So if I did a triangle here and a triangle there, it would be more like that. So you get more of a straight shot than you would that K. Okay, so that's just basically two triangles doing like that. So you know, yeah. All right, I don't want to ramble because I don't want my mouth to start hurting. So first thing you do, top and the bottom, leave yourself some space. That way, if you do go past your lines, these are your borders. If you do go past your lines, you still have a little bit of room to recover from your going out. Let's do, now I visually leave enough room for the head whenever I start the torso. And then imagine how long the legs are going to be. So I'll do this. And then that's the entire length of the torso right there. And then I'll do this. And you can always come back and adjust it. So what I want to do here is more twist the body though. I always do that. And then you come back and you kind of twist the body, which makes this less. Actually, that would kind of be the opposite way. Just a little bit the opposite way. So then I'll do my legs. So you want to draw just the shape of it. You don't want to draw any detail yet, because I was talking to somebody online, and he had the same trouble that I had when I was young. I would start drawing the head and do detail in the head, then the shoulder, then the arms. And when I got down here, my feet always ran off the page, and I was always disgusted because I had so much detail in my picture that I couldn't really complete the whole picture because the feet were always off. So I would always have to cut it at the ankles or the shins. And so you always just want to draw a rough of your whole picture first, the shape of your whole picture first. Then you can go back into detail. So imagining how far my neck is going to be. Just twist it. Remember, the shoulders are round. The shoulders come around like that. When I draw the breast, I can lift that neck up a little bit more, that head up a little bit more. When I do the breast, it's going to be the heart shape, and usually I'll start with the point here. And depends on how big you want the breast, determines the size of the heart. Now this leftover space, this is your shoulder, so I'll do her arm here. Maybe she'll have a weapon or something because this is the action pose. So as I said, this is the rough of it. and you come back later and you add details. Of course, you see the way I have her legs. You know, women usually have that kind of walk, one leg in front of the other, that catwalk, that model catwalk. The crotch, the leg comes out, knee, the calf. I don't know if somebody's like, oh, you're going too fast. I'll slow it down later. The hip, because the hip is going to come out this way, because this one is have your more K shape. This one is more flatter, and I'll make this a little flatter in a minute. So remember, when this comes out, you have that bone here, that lump right here goes in, and you have that other lump right there at the hip. Like that, maybe not as much, but you want to curve it in a little under the breast like that. Lump, lump, come down. Now, this should be straight, because this leg is curving in. It's curving in. It should be straight. This is straight. I usually tend to draw the inside of my legs straight. So if I did this leg, it'll be straight, and then I will work around that part, keeping that straight, and then adding some lumps to that, and then it'll be like that. But this somehow this got curved. So I'm going to keep this straight. It goes across, remembering the balance. The balance comes down here. It's straight. Take this away. Keep the straight line. And you kind of have to gauge how long you want the legs. Usually females are going to tend to have more longer legs than a man. So you have your knee, comes here, go down to your shin bone, then that, and then because she's on that foot, let's see if I stop it here. The foot is going to come down past this line, which is why you always do the border line, so that you have room for any coming offs of the paper. And then the foot, like that. Looking at that might be a little long, just because I'm going to make it a little righter. But then she could be along Amazonian. This is why you don't do detail first. Or you don't put any detail in it until you get your shape right. So I'll say about right here. And then walk away, as I always say, walk away from your drawing, and then you'll be able to come back and see if something's not right. And then, okay, so this is my crotch. My leg has to go right up against that. So come down like that. And then the other is going to be space between that, there. Same thing here, you're going to have that bend, that little lump, and then come down and there's a lump here. And then you're going to go all the way back. So how close do you want that leg? I want that leg, I want that foot to come like that, so it's going to be kind of like this. Kind of like that. Let's put this foot here. And it's on the line, actually above the line. So I'm going to put the other foot like back here somewhere. Maybe not seeing the inside, maybe, and coming up with this leg, which is going to be like right here. So, try not to make her thighs too big. That knee is going to be higher, a little, or was it lower? because it's going back higher, lower. I don't know, my brain just shut down right now. This one's higher, that one's lower. Let's bring this waist in a little bit more. Lump, lump. And then there's that. She's really thick. And that tends to happen when you're drawing a lot of men. Your women become like really, really thick. Especially a lot of guys when we're starting out drawing women. They have big arms. Their arms are always gigantically big. And what I'm trying to do is tilt this hip out more. So this lump, and then bring it in. Whereas this one would be more straight. Because that leg is coming back, it's going back. So then you would have to get rid of that. This part here, you wouldn't see that. This would be out more. And then down. Come in. Like that. Small waist. Remember, this is not curving in, this is more flatter. Whereas this one's curved in and then out. Press comes up into the arm. And then you have that square part, just this little flat right here. It's not round like the man's. And then you have the thin part for the bicep, and then this forearm comes out and then narrows. The V, and then you have the collarbone. Again, comes out and slopes around, and it should be even because she's not tilted that much. If I tilt her a lot more, it won't be even. Drop the shoulder just a tad bit. This is too much light because I've got my window open and my curtains open, blinds open. And I just want to make sure it's not too much light. And I'll usually do a point like this where I stop my bicep and then just bring this out for the forearm. Like that. So let me work on this goofy looking shoulder, because I want to be like down like that, kind of like a slight S. So I'm going to follow that S with this without making that hip too fat. And that's the bad thing about a woman. It's easy to draw the body, but when you start to put the curves in there, that's when you have to get it right. Still want that hip to jump out a little more without being too way out there. And this is the bad thing about a red pencil is the more you draw with it, the harder it becomes to erase. It should be a little flatter. Now see, I can play with this thing all day, but I'm trying to keep this video a little shorter. So I want to go with this. Flat here, more of the K shape here. breasts are right there. So what do I want to do with the hands? I don't know. The neck, let's put the collarbones, get rid of some of these lines. And drop the head down just a little bit. Let's tilt the head because that's tilted, so let's tilt the head. Calf is going to be up like this, and it goes down. Ankle will be about right here, and then the heel, bend the foot in like that. And I'm playing with this leg again. In and out. The best way I would say to do legs is like to get you some, or download some model books like Women in Bikinis and just draw what you see and practice the shape of their legs, and then that will help you a whole lot. And what do I do with these hands? I don't know. Let's see what I can do with the legs first. Let's raise this calf up while I'm still figuring out. And the difference between the woman's leg and the man's, you want to keep it smooth. Like whereas a man's leg, if let's just say if this is a woman's leg, comes into the knee and comes out, is your knee, is the inner part. A man would be more, you stop. Your line wouldn't be so smooth. You stop and you go, and it's more bulky, like bulks out here, comes in here, bulks out here, curves in here, goes down there. So it's a lot more not smoothness to it, whereas a woman's should flow, her whole body should basically flow down. It should be like one little piece, like that. Versus the man, if I did a man's shoulder, it'll be round like this, cuts in, you have your bicep, you have your forearm like that. Whereas a woman's should be just round, not round, but like flows, just kind of like one piece. And the hard part, as I say, is just getting the shape right, these curves, right, where it doesn't look like a man, and this doesn't jump out so much, but this is not round, it's more flat. It's more flat like that, and then you curve out with that, but not so bulky that you look like a man, or it looks like a man's arm. So yeah, that would be the hard part for you guys, is to keep it flowing. Too much ankle. So let's do this. Let's put some clothes on her. Let's put a suit on her so mom and dad won't freak out for what you're watching. Put a turtleneck up here and sleeves right there, just because. So now, do with the hands. I don't know. What I usually do is I'll figure out, if I'm going to do something with the hands, I'll figure out whatever kind of weapon it is, place the weapon, then place the hands around the weapon. Like if it's a gun, unless I change it, like if it's a gun like that, I'll draw the gun first, and then I'll put her hands around that gun. Or if it's a sword or something, I'll draw the sword, depending on how I want the sword, like that. Then I'll place her hand around the sword. So let me refocus my camera, because as I say in all my videos, my camera always wants to blur up on me. That's a little better. So let's shape to this leg. And I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do to this leg. Not leg, the hand. So maybe I'll pause that and figure out something. I don't know why I'm stuck on the hands. That should be one of the simplest things. Just make a fist and keep on going. And this right here, this little piece here, stuck on that. Bring it in and then up. A lot better to give her, because the hip, the part of that triangle, that's going to be your highest, widest edge. This triangle here. That's going to be the widest point where it comes out and then in. And of course, where this V comes in, it's going to come up. It's going to in, like lump in and lump out. But it's just, you have to keep working with it until you get it. And just draw. It's just drawing a lot of women a lot. And I remember when I first got married, my mother-in-law was with us for a time on the weekends. Basically, she worked, and then she was home on the weekends. And I really couldn't draw women all the time, because what are you doing? She didn't understand anatomy. She was old school and, you know, really into the church. So for me to just sit there and draw just the anatomy, female anatomy, it was kind of hard for me to do. So yeah, still love her, but it was just hard. And then my son was, I don't know how old he was. He was at that impressionable age, so I couldn't just have a picture of a woman with big boobs laying around, a bunch of pictures with, you know, legs and boobs and butts just laying all over my drawing table, because my drawing table was out. It was not in a room. It was like in a corner where we had our living room was set up. It was like in a corner, so all my drawings and practice stuff was there. So it was hard for me to just do women. So parents, understand that you have your children, if they get into comics, they have to do women. I mean, if you're going to be a doctor or something in anatomy, you're going to have to do women. So show this to your parents, kids, and just tell them, you know, you're not doing no crazy stuff. You're just learning the anatomy. All right, so I'm going to pause this, because I'm telling you, for the life of me, I cannot figure out what I want to do with his hands. So when I come back, either they're going to be done or, no, I'm not going to skimp like that. I'm just going to show you how I did the hands. This comes up, the knee, it bulks around the knee like this, and it comes into it goes out to the shin, and it hits this side. And this is just to show you, because I'm still thinking about the hands, but I usually never really connect them. I just give just that little bit of direction. Yeah, so I'm going to pause this right now, and I'm going to come back with knowing what the heck I want to do with the hands. And this is a little wide. This side is out more, and as I say, it's the shape. It's the shape, the smooth shape. All right, let's pause it. All right, so this was really stressing me, so I'm just going to put a gun and a sword in her hand. So I kind of was just playing around, so I started a little bit just to start. So, okay, so here's the sword right here. Short sword, because I don't want it to come off the paper. Like that. Now, the palm, you have the two pieces of the palm, so anything that sits in your hand, naturally, you know, is going to wrap around it, and the thumb is going to come over top. So you have this piece of the palm, the other piece is back here, the sword is sitting on it. So you have this part of the thumb here, thumb is in two pieces, and it just comes across, and then, of course, you know, the fingers are going to go and come up here, like that, around it, and then you can just break the fingers apart at your leisure. Just a quick hand going around the sword, and then one hand, this finger is always going to be spaced for whatever reason. When you grab something, these are going to be close, this one's going to be spaced out. So this top of the palm, top of the whatever this is going to be out here, so this other finger is going to be here, covered by the thumb. I'll do that in the wash when I ink it. So the gun, let's just say we'll put the gun here, coming from the top, looking down, kind of. Seeing just a little bit of the side. So the hand is going to go, the palm, what are you saying? I don't know. Number one, I didn't leave enough room for the palm. So here's the hand. Let's make the hand round because of the angle. Here's the gun here. Let's see, just a little bit of the side of the gun. Do I? Yeah, why not? So around here, you're going to have that one finger. You're going to have the thumb up here, and then down across it. This one finger is going to be longer because it's going to go through that. And from this angle, you won't see the hand, the rest of the hand. I'm not happy with that. Let's flip it over a little bit. This drawing should have been just over. I should have just made 2 fists. I don't know why I don't just. And sometimes you do get stuck in a drawing. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes you just say, you know what, it's not gonna work. Let me do that. And it's not because you don't have the skill. It's just like something in the brain just locks up. Because one day you just be drawing like fire. Just everything comes out right. The next day you try to draw and it just won't work to save your life. And it's just, I don't know if it's just like a blockage or something, but yeah, I don't care how good you draw. Everybody has those bad drawing days where you cannot draw your name. You just cannot do it. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3, and this one comes there. So this is going to be here. And I'm not even liking this gun. It just 1, 2, 3, 4, and the thumb, because you just did not leave room for the thumb, like that. You know what? I'm gonna just go with it because I don't want to be frustrated anymore. Maybe I'll just do a nice, tight looking gun or something. Nice little tight gun to make up for my drawing, whatever you call that, get over, a drawing blockage. So yeah, that hand, why is that hand is a lot smaller than this hand. It's almost like she's swinging that hand back. So let's just make this a little bigger. My thumb comes down, palm, the other palm, but this is going to be blocking, the sword is going to be blocking a lot of that hand anyway. You are just catching it today. I don't know why. I'm going to just redo this whole thing over again. Sorry about that. You know what I'm going to do? I don't know how long this video is, but I'm going to cut it. And when I come back, you'll see whatever I'm going to do with this hand. So sorry for that, but let me cut it because I don't want to keep you guys hanging on because I'm kind of out of it today. All right, so I don't know where I left off at, but I just got frustrated. You saw that. So I just drew this nice little weapon and a lightsaber. So she's like this killing machine. And as I was inking it, I said to myself, well, let me just go ahead and finish filming it. Right away, when I ink the body, there might be something that I can say that you guys can use. So, yeah, as you say, I drew the hands and put the lightsaber in. And I'm looking for my pen, which pen I was using. It's Micron 005. So, yeah, it looks like it got a little darker in here since last filming. So let me do the body. And you just want to, as I say, you want to keep that smooth line that goes all the way around. If you can, you try to keep that one consistent line, which I'm not doing now. And if that foot goes in like that, it's going to come straight down because that is the inside of the foot. So let's curve this around and like that. This leg comes out. And since the leg goes back, you really won't see too much of it, maybe a little bit. And as I said, you're going to see some of that. That would be like shadow back here, or hatching. Keep the breasts kind of the same size. Since this is a shirt, it's going to be like one piece. That's what happens when I do fast motion inking. It's just basically, that's all you see. So why a lightsaber and a gun, I don't know. Especially with a clip on a gun. I don't think Han Solo ever had clips on his gun, on his blaster, shall we say. And a nice kind of little different type of outfit here. Usually when I rush inking, that's when I screw up, but inking is like your final thing, so try not to rush when you ink. And of course the body's round, the arms are round, so you're going to have stuff that loop around it. And this is an 005, so to get more line weight, I'd have to go over it again or use just a thicker pen. So let's just bring that up here like this. And that like that. You will have this little V for the neck part of it. And I'm going to tilt the head. Maybe I'll bring it down a little bit more too. Bring it down and tilt it over more. The Cute Assassin. Good name for a book. Yeah, looking at the monitor, I'll go with that. You could mess up at any time. And usually when I do a circle, I'll just take a piece at a time. I don't try to draw the whole circle because it just won't come out right. So I think that's about it. If I added some line weight to it and some like more clothes wrinkles to show that it is fabric. Other than that, I think that's going to do it for this one. I don't know how long it was, but it was a little too long. And I always get on people about drawing some kind of line just to indicate that the person is standing on something. So, and that's the beginning of doing background. And my lines are always crooked. Why? I have to turn it this way. Like that. Just grab a pen and put the line in there, Brian. It doesn't have to be the beach or whatever. It's just something the person is standing on. Could be outside somewhere. Just a little texture. So at least the person's walking on something. I'll put water back there. It could be ocean. So anyway, quick tutorial on doing the female body. I might do some line weight on it. I might just leave it as is and then just put it up. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. The next one will be a little better. I'll figure out what to do with the hands before I start drawing. But yeah, it kind of caught me off guard, and then my mouth was hurting too. Stop making excuses. Alright, that's it for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Keep drawing, never stop art. See you later. Class is over.